Hi everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. Today, let's take a look at domestic clarifications from US Figure Skating for well-balanced programs by level. Before we begin, as always, I want to remind you, I am a PSA ranked and rated coach. However, I'm not any kind of official spokesperson for US Figure Skating. I do pay very close attention to all the rules and painstakingly sort through them so I can work with my own skaters and make these videos for all of you. That's out of the way. So let's dive in. Starting with well-balanced no test, pre-preliminary, preliminary, and pre-juvenile. Skaters at these levels may achieve the compulsory feature for higher than level base in one position spins by executing 5 revolutions in one position. It used to be that a skater in a spin in one position had to achieve 8 revolutions as their first and only feature. US Figure Skating has now decided that 8 revolutions is maybe too challenging for developing skaters. So they've lowered this requirement to 5, but it's still the first required feature. If you're at this level, you need to achieve those 5 revolutions, and the 5 revolution feature can be awarded twice in your program at these levels. Let's say you perform a sit spin as your first spin, and you hold that sit for 5 revolutions to achieve that feature. Later, in that same program, you do a camel spin for 5 revolutions. That can be awarded again for pre-juve and below. 5 revolutions are your level 1. At juvenile level, it goes back to that 8 revolutions are required. In pre-preliminary and preliminary, 2 one-position spins may be executed. But if you do that, they must be in different positions. At those levels, you have the freedom to choose your spins. You could choose to do 2 different spins in one position, or you can choose a spin in one position and a combination spin. If you were to perform 2 spins in one position with different codes, they must be in different positions. You couldn't do a flying sit and a sit spin. You could do a flying sit and a camel spin though. For the combination spin, the compulsory feature for a level 1 differs at these levels. If you perform a combination spin, you must get all 3 basic positions for at least 2 revolutions to have a level 1 or higher. Always check the rules, read them carefully, and discuss your options with your own coach. Then decide what works best for you and your skating. We've all seen a skater perform 5 revolutions in a camel, and then they only perform 1.5 in a sit spin, and maybe 2 in their upright. You couldn't achieve a level 1 with your combo spin at these levels if you do that. In no test, the rule still applies that you could perform a forward upright and a backward upright. But in pre-preliminary and preliminary, they've changed this with the option to perform a combination spin. You must achieve 2 basic positions. You will receive no value on your combination spin if you do not have a minimum of 2 basic positions. Also, be mindful in pre-preliminary and preliminary. If you perform 2 combo spins, that second combo spin is a repeat. It's not going to count. In IJS, you will receive an asterisk when that happens. These changes have been made to help you develop strong one-position spins. The purpose is to help developing athletes to build those positions so that you have a solid repertoire of spins. Keep that in mind, because if you try something like a sit spin and a flying sit spin, yes, they do have 2 different codes. However, each spin is required to be in a different basic position. So that's not going to count. If you want to perform a flying sit spin, make your other spin a camel. That would be a much smarter choice. The Excel requirements will likely vary from this, so when those requirements come out, be sure to check those too. Of course, as always, I will do a video for you about the Excel requirements, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so that you never miss a video. Now, beginning December 1st of this year, that's December 1st, 2023, a choreographic sequence will replace the choreographic step sequence for no test, pre-preliminary, preliminary, pre-juvenile, and juvenile. This will have a different value than a typical choreo sequence though. It's gonna have a P in front of it. That P stands for partial, which is often done in ice dance. That's where the idea came from. The base value is half of a choreo sequence. As I understand it, the intention is that it will be 1.5, which is not in the ISU scale of values. If it has a value of 1.5, it could have a total point value for you of 2.25, or even more when you factor in your GOE. Again, that's a domestic US figure skating point value for the developing levels only. there will be a technical notification from US Figure Skating that specifies all the details and clarifies this. Make sure that you check that when it comes out. The definition is based on how a choreo sequence is defined by the ISU Technical Panel Handbook, which has not been released for this season, at least when I'm filming this. If we look at the one from last season, a choreographic sequence consists of at least 2 different movements, like spirals, arabesques, spread eagles, Ina Bowers, hydroblading, any jumps with a maximum of 2 revolutions, spins, etc. Steps and turns may link the 2 or more different movements together. Listed elements included in the choreographic sequence will not be called and will not occupy a box. The pattern is not restricted, but the sequence must be clearly visible. The call should be choreographic sequence confirmed if the sequence will be counted, or choreographic sequence no value if it's not confirmed. The discussion was that we may even see choreographic sequences in novice free skating, which the ISU is adopting this year. But domestically, we're maintaining that the leveled step in the free skate for novice. The reason for this is that US Figure Skating wants you to develop some of those skating movements, those Ina Bowers, spread eagles, split jumps, while you're in the developmental levels. That way, you can use them later when you get to the higher levels. Learning those elements at pre-juvenile and below, you can use them for your transitions in juvenile and intermediate, as well as when the choreographic sequence is required. This way, you'll already have a solid repertoire of skating movements that you can link together to create an engaging, dynamic, fluid, and unique choreo sequence, which will maximize your points. There's now a clear definition of a step sequence and a clear definition of a choreographic sequence. With that choreographic step sequence thing, it was so vague. What was it exactly? We didn't know what to do or how it should be evaluated. What exactly was it even supposed to be? Now we have very clear delineations regarding what's required to achieve the element and the requirements that judges need to use to evaluate them. Continuing with domestic clarifications for juvenile. Last season, we had 1 jump combination. That could be a 3 jump combination at juvenile. It could only have 2 doubles and a single, unless it included a double axel or triple. Now they've expanded this. A jump sequence may now include 3 doubles, or 1 triple and 2 doubles if one of those jumps is a double axel or a triple jump. For example, double Lutz plus double toe loop plus double axel in a jump sequence. Because one of those jumps is a double axel, that sequence is permitted to have 2 double jumps and is not required to include a single jump. However, there is a requirement that the double axel must be fully rotated or on the quarter. So if we take that same example, double Lutz, double toe, double axel, under rotated, that's not allowed because the axle's downgraded. So that's not an allowable jump sequence, but it will still count as a jump sequence for your program. If you were to do that, you can't attempt it a second time because you've already done it. Likewise, if you were to perform a double Lutz, double toe loop, plus double toe loop, because there's no axle or triple jump, the 3rd jump would receive an asterisk. When you see that asterisk, it's critical to remember that the element was not according to the requirements, so it has no value. For juveniles beginning December 1st, 2023, the choreographic sequence will be replaced by a step sequence with a maximum level 1, which is 5 difficult turns. They're looking for key points to determine if you receive a level base or a level 1 of the simple variety. They're looking for 5 cleanly executed difficult turns in that step sequence. Again, this is for well-balanced events. For Excel, the requirements may be slightly different for juveniles. When we get the Excel requirements, I promise I will do another video on them. Let's move on to intermediate. All the rules are staying the same this year. To remind you though, the spin in one position with a change of foot, it will have no value if no basic position is achieved for 2 revolutions on one of those feet in the short program. In the free skate, that is your camel change camel. It follows standard calling rules, which would receive a V. Remember that one of your spins must fly in the intermediate free skate. Look at that scale of values and find the most significant opportunity for that flying spin to carry the most weight for you. At the junior level, the short program requirements rotate from one season to the next. This year, the solo jump that is required is a double or triple lutz. The flying spin requirement for this year is a flying sit spin without a change of foot. Your solo spin then must be in a different position from that sit spin. There are some updates to the bonus chart for juveniles through senior. The significant change here is with a combination or sequence bonuses. This allows, for example, at the junior level, a triple jump followed by a triple jump. This could be a jump sequence and a jump combination, for example. There are some important notes here. In the green columns, that's for your combination sequence bonuses. Executing a jump to achieve a combination sequence bonus does not also block an individual jump bonus. Those are the gold columns for that same jump. For juvenile and intermediate, if any jump in a jump combo has a wrong edge or downgrade, the element is not eligible for the combination sequence bonus. In novice and junior, if any jump in a jump combo or sequence has a wrong edge, adjutation, under rotation, or downgrade, the element is not eligible for combination or sequence bonus. Some general notes. Jump elements, individual jump or jump combination sequence elements are eligible for a maximum of 1.0 bonus if the jump element meets the criteria for bonus application. Bonus is noted for 1 in the chart may be applied to only once per program. Plus rep does not block a bonus application. The first jump element that meets the requirements is eligible for the jump bonus in that category. Individual jump bonuses shall be applied to an eligible jump executed in combination or sequence if the entire element is not eligible for a combination/sequence bonus. When bonuses are applied to jump elements, the repeat rule verifications in the software may fail and must manually be checked by the technical controller. Bonuses apply only to jump elements that meet short program or free skate, well-balanced program requirements, and repeat rules. Juvenile and intermediate, to be eligible for any bonus, jumps must be fully rotated, landed on the quarter, or under-rotated. Jumps with a wrong edge are ineligible. Jump elements that include a wrong edge or downgrade are not eligible for a bonus. Novice and junior, to be eligible for any bonus, jumps must be fully rotated or landed on the quarter. Jumps that include an attention, wrong edge, under rotation, or downgrade are not eligible for a bonus. Repertoire bonus may be awarded in novice only and only once per program for 4 different triple or quad jumps. This bonus may be applied by the data operator at the direction of the technical controller. Domestically, we also have the protocol feedback initiative that I discussed in a separate video. So I'm not going to get into that in this video. Let's move on to falls. There's always confusion about what exactly a fall is. Somehow the technical handbook last year lost the definition. It was deleted. The definition is still in the special rules and regulations for the ISU. A fall is defined as a loss of control by a skater with the result that the majority of the body weight is on the ice supported by another part of the body other than the blades, hands, knees, back, buttocks, or any part of the arm. For every fall, there shall be a deduction. This definition is critical when considering the increasing number of sliding elements used in choreography. Within all these sliding elements, most of the body weight is not supported by your blades if you're sliding on 2 knees or 1 knee and the side of a boot. What prevents most of the time from being considered a fall is that there's no loss of control. When a loss of control does happen in one of those sliding movements, that choreographic moment could become a fall based on the definition. It happens, so be mindful when using those sliding movements in your programs. The technical panel will determine when a fall occurred in the element or not. This happens when you're performing a choreo sequence, for example. You finish a spiral and then fall. Suppose you get right back up and you do something else to continue that choreo sequence. In that case, the technical panel will likely say that the fall occurred within an element. But if the spiral completed your sequence, they would likely determine that the fall happened outside of an element. That's how the technical panel decides. What if there's a triple flip, triple toe loop, step forward, and a fall? Did that fall occur on an element itself, or did it happen after an element was completed? There's some gray area here, but that's for the technical panel to decide. When the fall is determined to be within an element itself, there will be an F in the info column. That's the column where you see wrong edges, attentions, unders, downgrades, and your protocol feedback. If the fall is not in an element, there will not be a sign on the judge's screen. So they can evaluate that element without starting with a negative. If this video helped you, please give it a like and share it with somebody else it could help. Just post it on your social media too. I'll have upcoming videos on Excel and other topics that can help you with your skating. So be sure to subscribe and ring that bell so that you never miss a video. This is Amy. Happy skating. Thank you for watching. I will see you real soon. Bye. That doesn't make any sense. What am I even talking about?